Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from whatever part of the world you're tuning in from. My name is Tracy Nauber, and I am your English expert for the IELTS exams. I'm really beginning to have fun making this video, so today I'm a bit icky excited, but that's fine. I'm a postgraduate student at the School of Education in Trinity Western University in Canada, and I'm currently en route to a PhD in English. My academic training is on TESOL, that's teaching English to speakers of other languages, just like yourself. And I used to mark the IELTS exam at the British Council. So my daily nuggets are designed to tell you some of the things I failed candidates for and to help you watch out for them. This week, we've been dealing with the listening module, and today I will be handling the topic dealing with inference questions. Now, I'm going to try to define it so that you understand what I'm talking about in this conversation. A question is when you ask someone something, when you're trying to get an answer, so there's that. Inference, so to infer means to find where it's not made obvious. When you're inferring something from a conversation, it means that something that hasn't been explicitly told to you, you are reading in between the lines to pull out that information from underneath the carpet. So when I say that we are dealing with inference questions, we are dealing with such questions in the listening module which expect you to go and dig for the answers. Inference questions are tricky because the answers have to be coined in your own words, and that's good. If you watched my other videos, you see that I was talking about you answering questions with word counts. So inference questions will often have word counts, like those are the types of questions that will tell you use 2 words to answer, use a phrase to answer, or use 1 word to answer. You're supposed to listen out for a conversation or read something short and then get an answer from it based on all the information that you were giving. Somehow, inference questions actually encourage you to think. Like maybe to think outside the box, I think. And people who have very good analytical minds, people who pay attention to detail, people who are meticulous, people who see little things where other people don't. Those are the kinds of people who ace inference questions in the IELTS exam, I can tell you that. Now, sometimes you're given a list of options to choose from, so that in the end you can choose which one best answers the question. Basically, what the question is trying to do is to give you a bunch of options and then you choose which answer best fits your response. So for instance, I'll give you an example of an inference question. In the conversation between Jack and Jill, says Jack is telling Jill that, oh, welcome to the bus station. Where would you like to go? And then Jill is saying, oh, I'd like to go to Edmonton. And then Jack says, okay, there's an 8:20, there's a 10 a.m., there's a 2 p.m. bus. Which one would you like to go with? If the time when Jill is at the bus station, it is 11:30 a.m. in the morning, obviously, it means that Jill has missed the 8:40 a.m. bus and Jill has also missed the 10 a.m. bus. Now, that's not explicitly said. It's not stated in that conversation. But because you know that 3 bus times have been given and Jill has come into the bus station at a time when the scheduled time for the first bus is elapsed and the scheduled time for the second bus is elapsed, it only makes sense that Jill has the option of going with only 1 bus, the 2 o'clock one. So if you have an inference question that says something like, which bus is Jill going to take, or which bus will Jill take, obviously you go for the 3rd bus option because she's at the train station at a time when she's missed the first and the second one. So this goes a long way to describe the inference questions, because an inference question will give you facts, and then you would use that facts to deduce other facts. All of this is based on how you're able to listen to the conversation. In the end, the IELTS is testing your listening abilities. So it means you're listening for what is said, you're listening for what is not said, and you are also listening for what's implied. So you have to take these information together in one box and then make sense out of it when you are positioned with inference questions. But I need you to remember that the answer to the question is never really obvious. Like like I said, it's not stated, it's not written there, it's only implied. So you have to dig deeper to find it. This means that you cannot lift it from the audio that you're listening to in the exam hall, and you cannot get it from the passage right away if it's something that is written down. You actually have to fish for it based on your understanding of what you have read. You have to be the kind of person who has a knack for finding things in difficult corners or finding things in places where it doesn't necessarily jump out to you. It's kind of like those who go treasure hunting, or people who go to, like harvest diamonds in the mud. You have to approach your listening module in this way when you are encountered with an opportunity to answer an inference question. I always say to calm down. If you calm down, you are in a better position to listen out for the conversation. When you're hearing the conversation, then you are able to understand what is being said. Your focus should be to understand so that you can explain, not necessarily to understand so that you can cram and then respond. If you focus on understanding what it is you're hearing or understanding what it is that you're reading, then you are in a better position to come into the exam and ace the IELTS exam. Let me give another example of inference questions. So, for instance, we can have a conversation that says the girl making this video is black. The fact that the girl making this video is black already underscores a lot of things. Number one, without being told, you know that this girl is of African descent, has some sort of African blood in her bloodline, even if not in her immediate generation, but in her distant generation. So without being told that the girl is from Africa, or is of African descent, just by saying the girl making this video is black, it conjures other images. It has information that is hidden underneath. So that when you are asked, where is she from, you're then able to say she is of African descent. And this is correct. So one thing you should also note about inference questions, I do not know if I have mentioned that already, but I feel led to say that, is they will always be the types of questions that give you the opportunity to respond with a group of words, or with a phrase, or with one word or a word count. We will always encourage you in the IELTS exam to use your own mind in responding to inference questions. This means that we want you to use your own group of words. So once you follow the instruction to understand how many words you need to respond to, or if it's a situation where you have to choose from a drop-down menu, like you have multiple answers that you have to choose one from. Even though one of the 4 or 5 answers were not explicitly stated in the conversation, you want to listen out for what's not said, what's implied, and what's actually said. These are the things that will help you to understand how to attack the question. And at the end of the day, you always have to remember that if you relax, if you take a time out to, chill, take a chill pill, relax, then you are in a position to help your brain remember stuff. You are in a position to help your brain to calm down and function properly. And always remember that if you have a knack for little things, if you are meticulous, if you're the kind of person who is good with research, finding out stuff, crunching data, if you're the kind of person who is good at being inquisitive or being intrigued by information, if you're the kind of person who likes to go out of their way to find something because you are curious, if you are the kind of person that pays attention to detail in its minute form, then it means that you are someone who is most likely to ace the inference questions in the IELTS exam. Again, feel free to leave your comments down there. Feel free also to send us suggestions on what topics you want us to cover. Also, I hope that you keep on enjoying the videos, because each time I make one, I get happier than before I made the previous video. So, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed your time with me, because I enjoyed my time with you. And I really do wish you a lot of luck as you go into the IELTS examination hall. Don't worry, it's not the worst thing that can happen to you in life. I believe that you can actually do it. So, go ahead, break a leg. Bye.